Guys, one of us has landed herself in a very, very big trouble. Apparently, BBC carried the storyline. It's all over UK website, and in today's video we are going to be talking about it. Now guys, trust me, there is no shortcut in life. The bottom line today is whatever you are not entitled to, do not use it. Whatever you are not entitled to, do not use it. Do not take anything for granted, especially if you are a migrant in a foreign country. If you are interested, stay tuned.
Ryan Little.
Hello beautiful people, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm super excited to have you all. Now do me a favor, if you're seeing my face for the very first time, please like this video, share this video with as many that will benefit from it, and don't forget to subscribe. Now this story I'm about to share with you was carried by BBC. It's all over the internet, but there are lots and lots of lessons to be learned from this, and that is why I am sharing these on my YouTube channel. Now guys, an NHS nurse is in a very big trouble because of this. I'll tell you about her before we talk about the story. This lady has worked so hard with the NHS for around 15 years. Because of her hard work, she was recently promoted to clinical nurse lead. You know what it means to be a clinical nurse lead? You must earn it. If you know anything about the United Kingdom, you know you earn your position. You apply for the role and you must earn it before you get it. So she is a clinical nurse lead, and she's worked in the NHS for 15 years, and she has a 14 years old son. That's to tell you she's a senior nurse in the NHS. But unfortunately, she has landed herself in a big trouble. Like I said, BBC carried it, and this is the storyline on the internet. An NHS psychiatry nurse forged health emergency badge to park a Mercedes in a pay and display near her home for free. Now, the very first time I heard about health emergency badge was in 2023 when I was pregnant. I didn't know that there are a group of nurses who have this badge. They call it the health emergency badge. Apparently, I was so ill then, and my doctor said I needed an urgent blood test. Remember, I was pregnant, 2023. I was still pregnant. I was really very ill, and I needed an emergency urgent blood test. And then they said to me, I have to go to the hospital. I said I couldn't. I literally cannot even walk. You know, we women, when we are pregnant, sometimes we try to, behave like a baby, stuffs like that. And then they sent one of the midwives to come and collect blood sample for me in my own house. And so when she came, the area I lived then was very busy. You can really get a parking space, and then my husband had parked in front of our compound, so there was no parking space for her. So I was really concerned about her. So I said to my husband, how are you going to take your car out? I was just trying to think how she can park her own car. And so when she came in, I was saying to her, this is the situation, I don't know, they're going to charge you. Did you pay for park? And she said no, that she has the health emergency badge because she's coming to attend to an emergency, and this is the proof of. So she collected my blood sample, did everything she's supposed to do. And I said, really? And she said, yes, that so if they have an emergency, they could give you that. So whenever they see it, anybody, passing any of the officers will know that you are on an emergency assignment. So that was the very first time I heard about this health emergency badge in 2023, precisely when I was pregnant with my daughter. Now, so apparently this nurse has that kind of badge. Yes, because they are the kind of people that attend to emergency. So she has that kind of a badge, and that kind of a badge allows them to park in residence bay and parking bay while they are attending to emergencies in patient home. So because of that, she took advantage of this badge. She photocopied a fraudulent badge and parked her Mercedes in a pay and display There's what we call pay and display in the UK. So if you are parking your car, it is not a free zone. You will see it pay and display. So if you don't pay and the officers that are checking check your car, they are going to fine you. You may face a lot. Because you didn't do the right thing. So apparently, this lady was parking in that park and pay, because there's no free space to park your car. So now she was parking in a park and pay, but she photocopied a fraudulent badge and used it. So when the road, I'll read from here. Sophie Adebayo, a 38 years old lady, used the photocopied badge in a restricted parking space. The NHS community psychiatry nurse used a forged emergency head badge to park her Mercedes for free in a pay and display area. The Earth Emergency Badge is a loan-wide scheme which allows users to park on yellow lines and in resident bays and parking bays while attending to medical emergencies in patient homes. A parking officer spotted the fraudulent badge in the emergency. A parking officer spotted the fraudulent badge in the Mercedes of the single mom who has worked for the NHS for 15 years. Nigerian-born Adebayo of Greenwich claimed she was working at the time she used it, but the prosecuting counsel said this was unlikely. Did you see that now? There's no shortcuts in life. I tell you the truth. Don't do what you are not entitled to. Because she has this emergency badge she used in attending to patient during emergency. But when she parked her car now, was a park and display. She was not attending to any patient at that time. She just forged the badge, probably because she didn't want to pay the money. Now, usually, the money is not much. I was at the bank. I'm just coming literally from the bank, and I wanted to park my car in that park area and pay. It's park and pay. And in where I live, the app is called Ringo. So I parked for 30 minutes and I paid £1.60 for that 30 minutes. So for 1 hour, you probably might pay £3 something. It's a very small money. But for one reason or the other, best known to her, because she's in the best position to speak, she didn't want to pay the money, or probably she was in haste. I don't know. Bless her. She just photocopied a fraudulent badge and popped there. When the officers were going around, they saw the badge and they knew it was fraudulent. And when she was questioned, of course, she said she was attending to a patient, but the officers knew that it was unlikely, because even that badge that they use in attending to patient, there are locations where they can use it. It is not at a park and display area. Do you understand? And so she was caught. Now she was taken to court. She pleaded guilty in courts. A Tefu Adebayo pleaded guilty to 2 counts of fraud by false representation, namely on the 31st of March. So she's even done it twice. On the 31st of March, she used that same fake fraudulent badge, and on the 31st of May. See, guys, anything fraudulent you do, you may not be caught immediately, but one day, definitely, nemesis will catch up with you. What is right, and what is wrong is wrong. Do not do anything that is wrong, because you'll be caught with. I'm just going to deviate a bit. Recently, I've shared this in one of my videos, where a lady international driving license has expired and she was driving in the UK. Police officers were on the road that day, which they are rarely on the road, and then they stopped her. The next thing was, can I have your driving license? And she was using an international driving license that has expired. She has put herself in another trouble. That's a different story for another day. I think I might have shared it in my channel. It's not long ago. She has put herself in trouble. Her international driving license has expired, but she was still driving on the road. Anything fraudulent, stay away from it. I know some of you might be condemning this lady. Why would she do that? But you are doing some other fraudulent things. Some of you, instead of paying an instructor to teach you how to drive, you are using somebody who has not driven up to 3 years in the UK to teach you how to drive. Don't you know you can be caught? And if you are caught, it's a criminal offense. Don't do anything wrong in a foreign country or wherever you are. It's not a matter of country. It's not a matter of being from any country. As an adult, whether you're from Nigeria, you're from Ghana, you're from Philippines, you're from UK, whichever country, there are good people in all countries, there are bad people in all countries. Just make sure you're doing the right thing. By the grace of God, we are all adults. We all know the right thing to do, and we all know the wrong thing to do. Always do the right thing and keep yourself safe. Some people will even enter the train station and don't pay. Don't you know you will be caught one day? Yes, somebody has been caught after 15 years of not paying in a tray. She entered the train station and she didn't pay, and she was caught after 15 years. Don't do the wrong thing. A colleague of mine was sharing with me. She went to one of the supermarkets and she finished paying for some things, and when she got home, she discovered that, oh, I didn't pay for this thing, I didn't pay for this thing, and she called me. I said, Nozri, what do I do? I said, go back and pay for them immediately, ASAP. Nobody noticed her, but she did the right thing. As an adult, you know the right thing. It's not about country. It's about doing the right thing as an adult. The question I want to put before you now is, are you doing the right thing? Check yourself properly, because if you are not doing the right thing, trust me when I tell you, it will not be too long, nemesis will come. Yes, nothing is hidden, especially in a foreign country like this. So this lady took advantage because she forged the badge the first time. Nobody caught her. She did it the second time and she was caught, and she was charged to court. Remember, she has worked so hard because she has been in the NHS for 15 solid years, and she's even the clinical nurse lead. But at the end of the day, just because of that singular offense, something that less than £5 would have done, she went to court for. She paid a lawyer for it. Now, see the fine. See what they did to her. She pleaded guilty, and because she pleaded guilty, Adebayo was fined £507 with 1,200 costs and must pay a £203 victim surcharge. Magistrate Michael Foley told her, what you have done is wrong. You have paid the fines for parking, but that is no excuse for what you have done. We have discussed the prospect of custody and what that would mean to you, but we have taken into account your remorsefulness and defense. When you are entitled to something, you are entitled to it. But when you are not entitled to something, you are not entitled to it. Did you see that now? So if you are here, you are driving, your international driving license has expired, retrace your stop immediately. If you are here, you are entry tray, you are not paying for it, retrace your stop immediately. If you are here, you are doing anything wrong, retrace your step immediately before you are caught and the law takes its effect. I know nobody is perfect, but we keep striving for honesty. Everyone has to be honest, irrespective of where you are from. Whether you are from the UK, whether you're from the US, whether you're from Nigeria, whether you're from London, whether you're from England, whichever country you are, everyone holds themselves the right to be honest, especially with our nursing profession. Now she's going to pay over £2,000 fine on something probably less than £5 would have done. Now, guys, that is not all. The magistrate has also said the conviction will be reported to the Nursing and Midwifery Council, and Adebayo may face professional misconduct charges that could threaten her career. Imagine this beautiful, hardworking lady who has worked in the NHS for 15 years, a single mother of a 14-year-old child. But just because of one thing or the other, probably she was in haste that day, she didn't wish she was so much in haste, and all because of that, she's paying over £2,000 fine, and secondly, they are going to report her to Nursing and Midwifery Council. Do you know what it means when Nursing and Midwifery Council will review her case and find out that a nurse who has been qualified or who has been working with the NHS for over 15 years was dishonest? Do you know what that could mean? That could mean the end of her career. So guys, I beg us in the name of God. I am not perfect, you are not perfect, but at the same time, we are all adults and we know what is right and we all know what is wrong. Please always do what is right at every point in our life. Fraudulent hearts, doing the wrong thing, you must always be caught. If not now, maybe later. We are not in the position to judge, but let's all learn to do the right thing. Now guys, thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you think in the comment section, and any advice in the comment section. But like the judge said, Do not use anything you are not entitled to. And I will always encourage every one of us, do not use what you are not entitled to. And if you are not sure of what you are entitled to, please always ask. All right, guys, until I come your way next time, I remain Violet or Clara. Bye, guys.